Arsenal 2, Bayern Munich 2 in the first leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And we were treated to an absolutely fantastic football match, man. Really high quality match. Both games, to be fair, today were really good quality. I'm going to talk about, of course, the Arsenal game because that was the game I ended up watching. But I do want to say, first of all, UEFA, what are you doing putting both games on at the same time, man? Absolutely stinky decision. Put one at 5:45, put one at 8. Or for me, I'd rather have them on separate nights. But look, it's one of those things, man, because I wasn't really interested in the games tomorrow, to be honest. I was mostly interested in both games going on today. The Arsenal game, top quality game, man. Really good quality game from both sides. A proper Champions League match in terms of quality we were seeing. And I do have to say, to be honest, guys, yeah, a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth because right at the end, Arsenal had the opportunity to win it. And Saka gets brought down, maybe not brought down by Neuer. Who knows? The ref doesn't give the penalty. I thought the referee overall had a bit of a frantic game, to be honest. You could tell it was his first game in the knockout Champions League because he was a little bit all over the place, the referee, making a lot of quick decisions, trigger happy with the whistle a little bit. But look, Arsenal leave today's game 2-2. Is it a good result? Is it a bad result? No one really knows, to be honest. No one knows. I wanted to win, given we're at home in the first leg. But it's a draw. That now means we have to go to the Allianz, and one way or another, we have to win the match. Even if it does mean through penalties, we have to win that game. And look, are we capable of winning the game at the Allianz? Absolutely, of course we are. But it's definitely, to be honest, guys, a tougher assignment than many Arsenal fans would think. Look, I was going into this game saying it. Bayern Munich are a good team. I don't get all these people. I don't get why everyone was saying, oh, Bayern, they're rubbish. No one was saying they're rubbish. But you know what I mean? Like, their form is crap. They're not the same Bayern from that we're used to. Arsenal will walk all over them. I don't know why people are saying this. This is Bayern Munich. Like, they're a good team. They've been to quarterfinals the most amount of times out of anyone in the competition. Like, they've got quality players on the football pitch. And in my opinion, yeah, I know the game finished 2-2, but that was one of the best away performances I've seen at the Emirates in a long time from a team coming to the Emirates, especially given how good this Arsenal team is. This is an Arsenal team that has beaten Man City, beaten Liverpool at the Emirates. Like a good quality Arsenal team. And Bayern Munich came here, and in the first half, they dunked on us. Those counterattacks were absolutely lethal. Lethal counterattacks, smash and grab stuff. And I'm just so happy that Tuchel took off Sane. I couldn't believe it. Sane was the best player on the pitch by an absolute mile. By an absolute mile, he was the best player on the pitch. And Tuchel took him off. I have absolutely no clue why. He brought on Kingsley Coman, who's a good player in his own right. But Sane was cooking us, man. Like, he was cooking us. Gnabry on the other side got his goal as well. But we leave the stadium 2-2. Good result, bad result. I don't know, to be honest, guys. I really don't know. I'd love to sit here and say I'm happy. I'd love to sit here and say I'm sad. But the truth is, I don't really know. My gut tells me it's a bad result because I don't know if we've got enough quality. So, sorry, I know we've got enough quality to go to the Allianz and win. But I don't think we've got enough quality to go there and take the game to them and really win. Now, who knows? Maybe if we go to the Allianz and shut up shop and play like we did at Man City, Bayern will open up. We can get a couple goals in the counter-attack. But my gut feeling tells me that we needed to win this game, especially given because there's no way. I mean, thank God there's no way goals because otherwise we'd be 2 goals in the bin, given the 2 goals they scored today. But my gut tells me that given Bayern Munich how good they are in the Champions League, given they're out of the Bundesliga now and it's basically going to be Champions League or bust for them, that next game is basically makes it a one-off final at the Allianz Arena. And I'd rather the one-off final be at the Emirates. Like, I'd rather us be 1-0 down going into the second leg at the Emirates than draw 2-2 at the Emirates and go to the second leg at the Allianz. That's just my thought process on it. But that being said, look, it was a very, very tough game for Arsenal. Very tough game. And the thing about it that really annoys me is this game could have gone very, very differently. Like, after 10 minutes, we scored to make it 1-0. Ben White had a chance after about 12 minutes that could have made it 2-0, a one-on-one opportunity. And we were so comfortable. Like, I was sitting there thinking, hang on a minute, we could actually replicate what Man City did last season in the quarterfinals. Man City in the quarterfinals last season took Bayern Munich to the cleaners, won that game 3-0, absolutely dispatched them. I thought we could do something similar because that first 10-15 minutes was one of the best opening minutes I've seen for Arsenal against the top side in my whole life. We were electric in those first 15 minutes. But then we conceded such a sloppy chance, man. Such a sloppy opportunity because when you're playing against teams like Bayern Munich, they're so vertical, they're so forward-thinking that they're always going to break quickly. And you have to be aware of that. And we left ourselves too exposed, I believe, at the back. Like, one pass through. I don't know what Raya's doing. Raya's absolutely sprinting out his box to try and clear it when it's clearly Gabriel's ball. Then Gabriel just plays a blind pass down the line. Kivior's going out wide when he's trying to get the ball central. And it's bang. It's 2 passes. Sane to Goretzka to Gnabry. And in a blink of an eye, they're through and they score. Their first shot of the game. And then they come down the other end and they score another goal. Sane again at the heat of it. Literally just run straight through our whole team. I've never seen someone penetrate us so easily. It was legs open, like fully just boof, right down the middle. We couldn't do anything about it. Jorginho got a tap on it, didn't do much. Saliba stuck out a leg, took him to the ground. Stonewall penalty for Bayern Munich. They make it 2-1. And we go into half-time, despite the fact we've had about 9 shots, dominated possession. We're 2-1 down to a team that's had 2 shots. It was one of the most clinical away performances I've seen at the Emirates. And I think that opened a lot of people's eyes to how good Bayern Munich are. And I think I have to give Arsenal a lot of credit because in the second half, we really, really improved, especially defensively, because I think we got scared a little bit. We got scared of Bayern Munich's counterattacks because, I mean, we brought on Zinchenko, which in my eyes at halftime looked like a suicidal move, given Sane was on that side and he ripped Kivio apart. So only God knows how Zinchenko didn't get ripped apart by Sane as well, even though they did look dangerous when he was still on the pitch. But I do have to say, to be honest, guys, yeah, big goal from Trossard, man. Big goal. Because I know I said I wanted to win in this game, but the difference between a loss and a draw is massive. Because we didn't really create enough in that second half, to be honest with you guys. We didn't really do anything. For the vast majority of that second half, we did absolutely nothing. But then, big goal, man. Big goal by Trossard. One of our only chances of that second half as well. Beautiful link-up play. Gabriel Jesus at the heart of it. Like, jinky, in and out. Perfect blind pass over across the Trossard and slots in the back of net. Big goal for us, man. Big goal. And now next week against Bayern Munich, it's a one-off game. It's a one-off game at Bayern Munich. There's no way goal, so it's literally one-off game there. Whoever wins it takes it. I would rather the game be at the Emirates, but this is the way it goes. This is the way the cookie crumbles. We've got to go there and get a result. I do think it makes Bayern Munich favourites in the tie, to be completely transparent with you guys, but we're in it. And that's the main thing. Look, we're in it, guys. And I don't want to sit here and say that it's going to be even to Bayern Munich. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Arsenal are still going to be favourites in this game. I know a lot of people before the game thought Arsenal would be favourites, given the form of both sides. But I think we've transferred the form over to Bayern Munich now, where I think it is they're in the driving seat now. They're in the driving seat, and we know they're a better team at home than they are away. The Allianz is a fortress, absolute fortress, and we've got to go there now and get a result. And look, maybe, just maybe, the fact we could go to the Allianz and sit back and play on the counter-attack could suit us. It very much could suit us because we know that Bayern Munich played really well on the counter-attack today. Like, they were so vertical. As soon as they got that ball, they were charging at us. So maybe the fact we could play on a counter-attack could suit us at the Allianz. I'm not too sure. But I will say one thing. I did think that had we made it 3-2 at the death, like that Saka goal right at the end when he, in my opinion, he should have just shot it, man. Like, just shoot, bro. Don't try and draw a challenge. Just shoot, man. Like, I was thinking if he scores that goal to make it 3-2 for Arsenal, that goal is almost like 2 goals for me. Like, genuinely, that goal is massive. That changes the whole complexion. We suddenly go to the Allianz with a lead rather than as a draw. So do you get what I mean? So it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. What can we really do about it? I would have loved to win the game. Didn't end up happening, but we still get to go to the Allianz and the game's tied up. We didn't lose the game. I think a loss would have been very detrimental to us, but we go with a draw. And let's see what we come out with. Let's get into some of your comments. If you're new, make sure you do subscribe down below and let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Tommy, appreciate you on stream, my friend. People underestimated Bayern. This is Champions League heritage. Exactly. And look, they've gone to the quarterfinals, the most out of any team. They've got 6 on their sleeve for a reason. We've got 0. They're a good team, man. Bayern Munich are a very good team, and they proved it again today. Very good team. I don't know why a lot of people were sitting there thinking Bayern Munich were going to walk all over them. I know they've been losing games and dropping points in the Bundesliga, but that's a different competition. This is the Champions League. Is a whole different kettle of fish. Whole different kettle of fish. And in this competition, Arsenal's pedigree compared to Bayern Munich, it's like a primary school guy against like a university student. It's literally it's night and day, chalk and cheese. So we've got to be completely honest with ourselves. Got to have a bit of humility about us. It's a tough game. I thought we stood up and were counted. I think Bayern Munich will get on that team bus back to the airport and then back on the plane back to Munich. And I think I'll be very, very delighted, to be honest with you guys. Very delighted. Bayern Munich. I know they could have won the game given they were 2-1 up at half-time and until about the 75th minute. But I think quietly they would have very much taken a point at the Emirates because I think they know they can win the game at the Allianz. So I think they would be very delighted with the point. And on the flip side, look, I know a lot of the commentators were saying it's a good result for Arsenal, a point. Look, I think it's a manageable result. I don't think it's a terrible result. But for me, I think you have to win, man. You have to win given you're at home. It's the first leg of the Champions League. You have to go and get a victory. Put yourself in a commanding position. We didn't do that. I don't think we did enough to win the game. I think the draw was probably a fair result given the reflection of the football match. But it does mean now that it's a one-off game at the Allianz. And I think Bayern Munich would have taken that every day of the week. But this is what champions are made of, right? Like, if we can go to the Allianz and win that game, massive for us. Massive, massive. And on the flip side, look, Real Madrid and Man City played. I'm pretty sure it was 3-3 in that game. It was 3-3 when I stopped watching. I stopped watching about like 3 minutes before the game ended. So who knows? Someone might have got a winner, but I'm pretty sure it ended 3-3. So to be honest, going into that game, I think Real Madrid will probably sit there, they probably wanted to win that as well. But Man City will be quietly very happy going to the Bernabeu and getting a draw. So to be honest with you guys, both the away sides will be happy in this game. We'll be very much happy with what happened. I'm just a bit disappointed we didn't do enough to win the game, to be honest, because I think that we started so well in that first half. So well, where I just think if we didn't make those silly mistakes in that first half, especially the first goal, man, that was just catastrophic. I honestly think we could have walked away with this game because Bayern Munich were there for the taking in the first 10 minutes. They were there for the taking. They did nothing. Then as soon as they got that goal, it's like we all got shocked because Arsenal was so used to not conceding, being like such a resolute defense. To concede a sloppy goal like that, it was like a shock in the arm. We just couldn't believe it. And then they went from strength to strength, Bayern Munich, and they got their goals to go 2-1 up. And at that point, we were chasing the game. It felt like we managed to get our goal back with Trossard. And I really thought, can we go on and get a win here? We've got the momentum. The crowd's behind us. Saka had the chance at the death, but look, is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? I don't want to get into that, to be completely honest. Didn't get given. Some will say Saka stuck his leg out. Some will say Neuer clattered into him. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. It didn't get given. It's a massive decision on the balance of plays. I do think that goal, if we do get a penalty and score that penalty at the end, genuinely, that's like 2 goals for us. That is a massive goal because it changes the whole complexion going to Allianz. It goes from, in my opinion, Bayern Munich favourites, which it is right now. It would have been Arsenal favourites if we'd won this game. Any win, even a 3-2 win would have given Arsenal, I think, the ascendancy going into the game at Bayern. But look, it's one of those things, man. You take it as it is. We now go to the Allianz needing to win the game. Can we do so? Absolutely. But let's see if we can. For me, though, the big thing is now we've got a massive game on the weekend. I know a lot of people have been talking about the Champions League. It's a draw 2-2. How does that affect us mentally going into the game against Aston Villa? Because that's another massive game. Villa are a good side. I know they didn't show it against Man City, but and against Brentford, I believe they played in the week as well. But Villa are not a bad side, so that's going to be a big game for us. Can we go there and can we go to the Emirates at home and get a win against Aston Villa and then go all again at the Allianz Arena? Meanwhile, Bayern Munich, they're out the Bundesliga. It's over. Bayer Leverkusen have won it, so they can rest and rotate going into the game on the weekend and then come against the Allianz in a week's time. So for me, I think if you're Arsenal Football Club, it's backs against the wall a little bit. I think everything points in the direction of Bayern Munich now being favourites to go through to the semi-finals. I think that's what everything points in the direction towards. So if you're Arsenal, look, you've had if you want to like actually win things, you've got to overcome adversity. You've got to overcome pressure. So let's see if Arsenal can do that, man. It's a massive game on the weekend against Aston Villa and an even bigger game as well against Bayern Munich next week. Bobby, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Bayern didn't come with their fans; they came with the ref. I don't think so. To be fair, look, some will say it's a penalty, some will say it wasn't. I'm not too sure, to be honest, man. I don't think it was really clear-cut penalty. Don't get me wrong; I was screaming for it, absolutely screaming for it. And I think the referee, to be honest, I think he should have given a penalty. Like, given the situation, like the way it's going, Saka's gone around the keeper, he's been clattered into. I think at that point you have to give a penalty and let VAR overturn it if it isn't. Because I think it was more of a penalty than it wasn't on the balance of play. It wasn't given. I'm not going to sit here and complain about the penalty. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's a massive decision. It didn't really go in our favour. Arsenal didn't deserve to win that. Yeah, I think a draw was a fair result on the balance of play. I did think, to be honest with you guys, that Bayern Munich were very good in this game. Like, they had a masterclass performance. I know it only finished 2-2, and many will say, how is it masterclass? They didn't win the game. But anyone that watched that game will know that Bayern Munich played a masterclass here because they made Arsenal look very ordinary in this game. And this is an Arsenal team that's been on fire. In my opinion, Arsenal have been the best team in Europe alongside Bayer Leverkusen based on current form. And Bayern Munich came to the Emirates today and played a blinder. Were absolutely superb in my eyes. So I do think, to be honest with you guys, right, that Arsenal have got to sit here. I think we were a little bit scared of Bayern on the counter-attack, especially in that second half. But I think we've got to sit here and go, yeah, you know what? This is European pedigree because Bayern Munich are a very good team. And they proved it because that was a superb performance from them. Hit the post at 2-1 Bayern. Not a bad result considering Bayern could have won it 3-1. Now, I think they hit the post at 2-2. Are you talking about the Koeman chance where Koeman hit the post? That was at 2-2 right at the death. And look, if it goes 3-2 Bayern, that's an absolute car crash performance from us. But look, it's one of those things. Ben White should have scored. I agree. Look, and if he makes it 2-0, we could have been out of sight 3-4. I'm not even joking. Bayern Munich were there for the taking in the first 15 minutes. Until they made it 1-1, they were there for the taking. I'm telling you guys for a fact. If we go back to 1-0 in the game, to Ben White's chance, if Ben White puts that away, I'm telling you guys for a fact. I know Bayern Munich looked dangerous on the counter-attack, but their wind would have been out of them. I think we would have won that game convincingly. We got absolutely torn apart on the counter-attack in that first half, and it all came from that silly mistake for the first goal. Just mistake after mistake. You have Raya charging out of his goal for no reason. What is he doing? Gabriel, then rather than passing back to Raya, plays a blind pass down the line. Like, if you're going to boot it down the line if you have to, there's nothing wrong with clearing it. We're in a commanding position. And then Kivior not getting back. Declan Rice, he's looking at Goretzka and he just runs past him. It's so unlike Declan Rice. Like, it's so unlike him. He's such a good player. He takes a look at Goretzka, then just slides to the right and lets him run in behind him. Come on, man. Like, it's schoolboy stuff. And then you got Ben White, doesn't close round the weak side easy enough on Gnabry. So 4 mistakes led up to that goal. And it's so unlike Arsenal because our defense has been so strong this season. But look, it's one of those things, man. Look, we conceded, then we conceded again. Sane ripped us to shreds. I think the best part of this game was that Sane came off the pitch after 60 minutes because he was absolutely tearing us apart, man. Tearing us apart. So, look, we leave 2-2. It's a big goal from Trossard. Is it enough? Only time will tell. Only God knows whether it's enough for us to get through overall. But one thing's for sure. Bayern Munich will definitely take that. Definitely take that. I'm glad we got a draw. Yeah. I mean, look, is it a good result? I'm not sure, man. It's better than a loss. Put it that way. Arsenal's better side. You think? Look, I think Bayern Munich proved they're a good team, man. Very good team. See you, man. I appreciate you on the stream, my friend. I expect Bayern to win at the Allianz. I agree. I think Bayern are favourites. We can win. Definitely we can. We're a good side as well. But I do think, to be honest, that Bayern Munich are good, our favourites now going into the game at the Allianz. We can beat them in the second leg. Of course we can. But here's the thing, though. It's going to be a different football match. How do Bayern turn up at the Allianz? How do Arsenal turn up? Because I think in this game, it was very clear that Arsenal were the ones winning the ball and Bayern Munich were very happy to dig in, sit back and play on the counter-attack. Is it going to be the same at the Allianz? Is it going to be in the flip side? Arsenal sit back like we did at the Etihad and try and spring counter-attacks. It could be the case. It could be the case. So who knows, man? Real Madrid will win at City. I don't think so. I think City have got that in the bag, to be honest. Arsenal can still do it, but Bayern favourites now. I agree. 100% agree with that thought process. Real Madrid won't win at City. Look, I think, to be honest, guys, I think both away teams today, both City and Bayern, will be very, very happy with how it turned out. Very happy. I think both of them go into a commanding position now, going into the second legs. City will beat Real Madrid at the Etihad. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be City versus Bayern semi. Potentially, yeah. I can see it happening. Still think it looks good for Arsenal. Appreciate it on the stream, by the way, Jeff. I still think it looks good for Arsenal. Great day of football. I was watching both matches. I had both matches on as well, but I was mostly watching Arsenal. I had the City game on my iPad in the background. But yeah, to be completely honest, I think it's not an amazing result for Arsenal. I really don't. I know the commentators were saying it's a decent game, and they've got a wealth more experience than me. I'm only like 21, 22 years old turning. So I'm not going to sit and say I've got as much experience as Ali McCoy or Darren Fletcher or Owen Hargreaves when it comes to knowing if it's a good result or not a good result. But looking from the outside in, I do think we really needed to win this game, man. Especially given, A, how the game started, and B, given the fact that we were 2-1 down. We make it 2-2 with 15 minutes left. We have all the momentum. But that's also where you got to give Bayern Munich a lot of credit, because when the game went to 2-2, they didn't try and go punch for punch with us. They understood that Arsenal had the momentum. The crowd are up for it. They killed the game again. Slowed it down. So that's a real top-class outfit, Bayern Munich, and they proved it again. And I think I'll be very pleased going back to the Allianz. I wish both games were not on at the same time. Annoying. Tommy, I said exactly the same thing, man. Exactly the same thing at the start of the stream. UEFA absolutely cocked it up. What are they doing? Why are they putting both these games on at the same time? I don't get it, man. Like, put one at 5:45, put one at 8 o'clock. I don't get why. Or put, like you do in the last 16, put them like on alternate weekends. So this weekend, not alternate weekends, alternate weeks. So this week could be Arsenal and Real Madrid. Next week could be Man City and what's it called? And Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Next week could be Man City and Real Madrid. And then so you have 2 games this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. 2 games week after, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the Premier League games, you just flip them. So if Arsenal went to play in the Premier League the week after, we flip it back the other way. That's how they should do it. Because we can't be in the quarterfinals and you're picking and choosing what game to watch. What's that all about, man? We're not the Arsenal of old. I agree. positive energy going forward. 100% agree with that one as well. But I think every Arsenal fan knows that silently we needed to win this game, man. Like, I think we really needed to. I think the difference between drawing and winning in the Champions League, especially when your first leg is at home, like Bayern Munich could afford to get a draw in this game because they know they're playing a one-off game now at the Allianz. Whereas Arsenal, I feel like we're going to the Allianz. Like if you had a one-off game, a one-off tie, you want it at your home ground. Let's be real about it. You definitely do. It's one of those things. If Man City can get both KDB and Walker back, they'll be in good shape too. Yeah. Look, I think Man City are going to win that game. 100% are going to win that game at the Etihad. I cannot see Real Madrid winning there. Look, I don't want to count out Real Madrid. They're a very good team. But I just look here, and even today, Man City, right? Like, you sit there and you go, what are they really doing? Like a Real Madrid, because they're 1-0 down from like a stupid error. Then they scored to make it 2-1. Then Man City scored 2 fantastic goals to make it 3-2. Then they bring it back to 3-3. It's deja vu of last year where it was 1-1 at the Bernabeu. No one knew if it was a good result or not. They go to the Etihad and they get smoked 4-0. Absolutely torn apart. It's deja vu again today. Yeah, but the concern is Arsenal away in Europe. 2-1 versus Lens, 1-0 versus Porto. Agree. Look, away in Europe is never easy. Never easy. And we're going to a top team in Bayern Munich, man. Top team. Bayern Munich, by the way, the first visiting team to score at the Emirates in the Champions League. Interesting one. I didn't know that. I guess it makes sense, yeah, because we won 4-0 against PSV, 1-0 or 2-0 against Sevilla, 6-0 against Lens, and 1-0 against Porto. Good point. They are. They could have scored more. Definitely could have, man. Coman had a very good chance. But they're ruthless, that team, man. Absolutely ruthless, Bayern Munich. C1, focus on getting 10th position. Davies won't be playing. Good point, but they've got adequate replacements, Bayern Munich, man. They're a very good team. But thankfully, we've got Rice and Havertz for the return leg. That's very important for us. Focus on why I don't play for the club. Arsenal finished 8th not long ago. Yeah, it's a good turnaround for us. Very good turnaround from where we were a few seasons back. And it's good that we're in this sort of position. We're fighting these type of teams. And it's good we're going into these games thinking we can win it. Because 7 or 8 years ago when we were in the Champions League, we'd go into these games and it'd be like a miracle if you win it. I think you've got more chance of winning the lottery than Arsenal winning a Champions League tie against Bayern Munich or Barcelona. Now we go into these games, and fair enough, we didn't win the game today, but it's a proper good football match. Like it's two heavyweights going after each other, and it's both teams have a lot of mutual respect. Talking about your dead team, Bayern have been anything but rock solid at home this year. But you're talking about Bundesliga versus Champions League. Like it's different kettle of fish, man. I don't try and compare the two. It's the same with the Porto, right? Like people say, oh, it's the Portuguese league, bro. If you're in the Champions League, you're a very good team, and that's how I look at it. Every team's going to be tough. And Bayern Munich again today proved they're a very good team. Very solid outfit. Kivior must not have started the game. Opwanya, I appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Yeah, Kivior got cooked in that first half, man. Absolutely cooked. I don't know who's going to be back for the second leg. I'd be tempted to potentially play Tomiyasu in that second leg if we want to. But yeah, Kivior, I think he's just got, like, Sane tore him apart, man. I could speak about whoever. Tommy beating United isn't for everyone. These are still going after Chelsea, Man United, man. Maybe Tuchel can come back and get you in top 10 again. I'm gonna let these lot talk about Chelsea, Man United. Anyway, let's focus on Saturday beating Villa. I agree. Look, it's a big game on the weekend. No matter what happened today, we have to go into that game on the weekend and we have to win it. Because we're in a title race at the same time. I know we're sitting there thinking like the Champions League is at the final for Arsenal, but we've still got a massive game in midweek. On the weekend against Villa. Big game. Arsenal's supposed to be win easy. To show my appreciation on stream, my friend. You say it was meant to be, but let's be completely honest about it, man. What's it called? I know what you're saying, as in like it's supposed to be an easy win for Arsenal, but let's be completely honest about it, right? Bayern Munich are a good team, very good team. I don't know why all these Arsenal fans, especially, I know a lot of fan bases do this, but Arsenal fans especially, we go into games, right, and we seem to underestimate the opposition all the time. I don't get it. But I've even spoken to some of my friends, and they've been like, "Oh, this Bayern Munich team, they aren't all that." At the start of the season, right, very start of the season, I said, in my opinion, if Arsenal get knocked out of the Champions League to Real Madrid, Manchester City, or Bayern Munich, I will sit here and go, you know what? I'm annoyed we got knocked out, but I'm not going to be too distraught with the opposition because they're a very good team. If we get knocked out to a team like Porto or a team like Borussia Dortmund, they're not bad, but we should beat those teams. I'll be sitting here going, something, somewhere we've messed up. But if we get knocked out to a team like Bayern Munich, that's not a terrible result in my eyes. It's not. Look, I want to win it. Of course I do. But don't like don't think Bayern Munich are a bad team. They're a very, very solid football team. As long as we don't get absolutely torn apart 5-1 or something stupid. If we lose at the Allianz 1-0 or 2-1, so be it, man. So be it. I'm not going to sit here and complain too heavy. But what it does prove is it's a tough old competition, the Champions League. I don't get all this thought process that Champions League is easier than the Premier League. It's not, man. It's genuinely not. Look, the only reason the Champions League is easier is because you can get lucky in one-off games. But the quality of the opposition is tough. Like, you do not win the Champions League getting lucky. You play some very good football teams along the way. Very good football teams. If Arsenal want to win the Champions League this season, they have to go through a Bayern Munich, either Real Madrid or Man City, and then either Barcelona, PSG, Dortmund, or Atletico. 3 very good teams if we want to win the Champions League. Very good. And there's no time to rest. So when Man City won the Champions League last season, I know Pep Guardiola said, oh, the Premier League's harder. He knows that's his toughest achievement. There's a reason why Man City have only won the Champions League once under Pep Guardiola and won the Premier League like 5 or 4 times. There's a reason for that. Because it's a tough thing to do. Very tough to do. RD12, appreciate you on the stream, my friend Rory. I'm so disappointed the way we beat ourselves and ref don't even get started on that ref. The ref's a bit trigger happy. I don't think he was the reason we lost the game, to be honest, but sorry, I don't think he's the reason we dropped points in the game, to be honest. But I do hear what you're saying that that we should have done much. Like, we beat ourselves, especially in the first half. I do agree with that 100%. Kirkland, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Bayern all the way. Fantastic performance from Bayern. I do want to say, in my lifetime, being an Arsenal fan, that is one of the best away performances I've seen at the Emirates. So good. Especially given how good this Arsenal team is. Because don't get me wrong, I've seen teams come to the Emirates and blow us apart. But we've had players like Mustafi at the back. Now, I'm not being funny, right? It's not that hard to beat Arsenal. But for how good this Arsenal team is, that's one of the best away performances at the Emirates I've ever seen. You sound like Luca Dennis. Even Luca said he's happy with the draw. I'm not, to be honest, because I think we needed to win at home, man. Like, especially given there's no away goals, nothing. We have to win the game, in my opinion. I remember the 5-1 days, yeah. We have to be positive going forward. Yeah, I'm very positive, man. We're still in the tie. It's not over by any means, but I do think we really needed to win this game. Because TV rights, yeah, I mean, obviously, it plays a factor with the scheduling, but I just think they should put both games. Apparently, Eid is tomorrow. It is indeed Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating. Are you going to the mosque? I will be indeed. Eid Mubarak to everyone celebrating. I agree. It wasn't a great day for Arsenal. Just great viewing for someone who doesn't care who wins. Yeah, that's one thing I will say, man. For the neutrals, they had a fantastic 2 games of football today. Man City Real Madrid, I'm sure, was even better than today's game, given it finished 3-3. So even better than this game, given it finished 3-3. But yeah, fantastic. I hope Real Madrid win. Hello, Madrid. Arsenal finally got some pride back. Yeah, look, definitely, because I think a lot of Arsenal fans, right? We all know we're a good team. A lot of Arsenal fans and rival fans know this. But we did need to go into this game to us and get a little bit of our pride back, because it is very, very tough. It is very, very tough to play in the Champions League, and we're still an unknown outfit a little bit, Arsenal. But we came into this game, and I think we showed we're a good team. I don't think we did as well as I wanted, especially the way we conceded goals. Like, I did not expect us to draw this game 2-2. Maybe like a 1-0 win or a 1-1. But the way we conceded the goals was really bad in my eyes, like really poor defending. It cast me back to the old Arsenal a little bit. Come on, Arsenal, let's get going. Yeah. And look, I mean, it feels like a long time ago now, but when Saka scored that first goal, I was so happy, man. I genuinely thought we were going to go on to win that game. When Saka scored, I just looked at us and think, yeah, started the game so well. Fantastic Saka goal. But yeah, we kind of, in my opinion, dissolved in that first half, and it cost us. Not sure why a lot of Arsenal fans online were predicting a big win. It really turns out like that. Disrespect for Bayern. Exactly, bro. Same thing happened against Porto as well. Arsenal fans always getting ahead of ourselves. Always, bro. It's a tough game no matter who you play in the Champions League. No matter who you play. Bayern have some good players, but not world-class players. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, because Harry Kane, in my opinion, is world-class. Musiala's world-class. Sane proved again he's world-class. And Gnabry is as well. The defense looks a little bit shaky. Fair play. But their attacking players are superb, and they proved it again today. They ain't Real Madrid. I mean, every game's going to be tough, man. Eid Mubarak for tomorrow, Dennis. Eid Mubarak to you too. Outside the draw on paper is easier. Fancy Atletico making the final. Maybe, but here's the thing about Atletico Madrid, man. Like, they're just an absolutely terrible team to watch. They are the most ugly football team like I've seen play, man. Like, genuinely. I'm so happy we didn't get Atletico Madrid, because that would be a boring game. I think Arsenal need to take the lead over there. I agree. I think if we go 1-0 down, it could be a very long day. Very long day. If we get the goal and then just sit back and defend, I think we can scrape a 1-0. I know we look bad today defensively, but I do trust our defense overall. I think we can scrape a 1-0 at the Allianz. They put some group games on at 5, but the quarters the same time. I don't get it, man. I genuinely don't get it. I said 2-1 to Arsenal. Who knows, man? Who knows? But guys, I want to appreciate everyone that tuned into the stream today. Arsenal do draw 2-2 at home to Bayern Munich. Equally, Real Madrid draw 3-3 to Man City, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. All it does do is set up a massive next week, Wednesday, humongous quarterfinal clash. Both games up in the air. Anyone can win it. I appreciate everyone that tuned in today to the stream. If you're on your hand, make sure you do subscribe down below, and I hope to catch you guys all in my next one. Take care.